Welcome back, coaches. Today, I want to talk to you about something that is underneath every successful coaching business, no matter what stage of building you're in. It's not just about explaining the value of coaching. Yes, that is what selling looks like on the surface. You're talking about your clients' current challenges, what's feeling hard, what keeps them stuck, what they want so badly, and then you paint a picture of what's possible on the other side, what they want life to look like. And from there, you will naturally describe how your coaching program helps bridge that gap. And that's what your audience sees. But under the surface, inside the mind of your potential client, whether they're aware of it or not, three trust decisions are happening. And this is what I call the trust triangle. Let's walk through each one. So, first of all, there's the trust in you, the coach. Do I trust you as a person? And this is all about credibility, not just in the formal sense of credentials or certifications, but it's that gut feeling someone gets from just being in your world. Your potential client is asking, even if they don't say it out loud, do I trust this person? Do they feel like someone who does what they say they'll do? Do they have the kind of experience or energy that makes me feel safe or understood? Can I see myself opening up to them, being coached by them? This trust is rarely built through a single post or a perfectly written sales page. It is built over time through repeated interactions. It's through the tone of your emails, the stories that you share, and the way that you carry yourself in your content and conversations. You build this kind of trust by sharing your stories and values. When you explain how you came to this work and what you stand for, people start to connect. They relate. They see themselves in your story, or they feel drawn to your approach. You also need to show up consistently with helpful content. And it's not perfectly. You've heard me talk about B minus work. You just need to show up and get something published. It might be B minus quality, or you might think of it like that today, but today's B minus will be tomorrow's A plus. And also not every day, but it does have to be regularly enough that people know that you're here and you care and that you're not going anywhere. You also need to be demonstrating that you understand their struggles. This is huge, and it may be the biggest factor in building trust in you as a person. If someone listens to your podcast or reads an email and says, wow, that's exactly what I've been dealing with, you have earned a point of trust, many points of trust. You've shown them that you get it. Here's a sign that this area of trust might be a little weak. They say things like, or they think that, I'm not sure that this person gets me. They seem smart, but I'm not ready to reach out yet. I'll just keep following for now. You probably won't know that they're thinking this, but that's what you're looking for. It's not a no, but it's not a yes either. It means they haven't built enough trust in you yet. And that's okay, because the way you fix it isn't with a pushy pitch. It's by continuing to show up with clarity and consistency. That's what strengthens this first corner of the triangle. So if you've ever felt like people are lurking but not buying, this might be the piece to look at first. Okay, on to the second point of the trust triangle. It's trust in themselves. This one catches a lot of coaches off guard, because even if someone fully trusts you as the coach, even if they believe your offer is solid and your process is legit, they still might not buy. What might it be? Well, maybe it's because they're secretly wondering, what if I'm the exception? What if I invest and then I don't follow through? What if this works for everyone else, but not me, for whatever reason? And this is so important to understand. It's not a reflection on you or your offer. This is the mindset your client is bringing to the table. They're worried that they don't have what it takes, that they won't stick with it, that they'll let themselves down, and maybe it's letting themselves down again. Your job here isn't to convince them they're wrong, it's to build belief. You build this kind of trust in themselves by, first of all, normalizing the struggle. Let them know it's totally normal to have these doubts. Lots of people have had them. You can show examples of clients who started out unsure, but still got results. You want to paint the picture. You don't have to believe 100% yet. You just need to be willing to try. And again, offering small wins and actionable insights. This is why lead magnets, free trainings, and value-packed emails matter. They help someone feel a win before they ever even pay you. When they implement something simple and it works, they start to think, oh, maybe I can do this. You can get them to trust themselves by you believing in them before they even believe in themselves. Speak to their potential, reflect it back to them. Sometimes a client will borrow your belief until they can stand in their own. Here's a sign that this part of the triangle might be weak. They're thinking something like, I really want to, but I'm afraid I'll sign up and not follow through. That's not a no, that is fear. And you can support that fear with empathy, encouragement, and clear next steps. Because when they start to trust themselves, that's when they take action. Now, let's talk about the final point of the trust triangle. It's trust in the coaching or offer itself. It's trust in the product. This is the actual program, the product, the structure of your work together. Here's what your potential client is really asking. Is this the right solution for me? Will it work with my schedule, my life, my level of experience, my budget? Will this actually solve the problem that I'm facing? They're not just wondering whether your program works in general. They're wondering whether it will work for them specifically. Even if they trust you and they trust themselves to follow through, if they don't fully understand how your offer works, or they think it's too vague, too advanced, or just not the right fit, they will hesitate. So how do you build trust in your offer? First of all, clearly explain what's included and how it helps. This means going beyond, you get 6 calls in a workbook. You got to break it down. What are they going to walk away with? I always tell clients that you want to spend way more time talking about the results that they'll get. Contrary to what you care most about, which is like how many sessions, how long, how much of your time is going into it, they care more about, will it solve their problem? In fact, the more sessions, the more time, that all just sounds like more work. If you could solve their problem in just one session, well, that would be the option they would choose. That would be amazing. But it's not reality. My point is that you just want to lead with the result that they get. That's what they're paying for. Be honest about how much time they'll need to dedicate, but lead with the results. Make sure to paint the picture on how their life or business or mindset will change. Also, to increase trust in the product, share testimonials, stories, case studies. I've mentioned this to help build other points of the triangle. These are important. Let them hear from real people. Let them see the journey, especially if someone started where they are now. Proof builds belief. That is proof. Also, show how your process solves their specific problem. Use language that they use. Speak directly to the challenge that they've been wallowing in, spinning in. Whether they feel seen and understood, they're more likely to trust that your process can create a new result. Here's a sign that trust in the offer might be missing. It sounds good, but I'm not sure this will work for me. You might not hear that thought in your head exactly put like that, but if you're looking for clues, if you get clues like that, that is your cue to be more specific. Clarify how it works, why it works, and who it's designed for. So let me bring it all together with how to actually use the trust triangle in your coaching business. Start by asking yourself, am I speaking to all 3 points in my marketing? You can use what I'm about to say just like as a checklist. Are you building trust in you, the coach? Are you showing up consistently? Are you sharing stories that highlight your values and experience? Are you someone your audience feels connected to even before they hire you? To the second point of the triangle, are you building trust in themselves, your clients? And the way you check that is, are you helping them believe it's possible for them to succeed? Are you giving them small wins, offering encouragement, and normalizing the fear that comes with change? And to the third point of the triangle, are you building trust in the offer itself? Are you explaining clearly what's included, how it helps, and why it's a great fit for them? Are you sharing testimonials, examples, or stories that help them see what's possible? When you intentionally build trust at all 3 points, so that you have They end up having trust in you, trust in themselves, and trust in the coaching you offer. That's when people feel safe to say yes. They feel safe to invest, safe to show up, safe to believe in a different future. And that's what makes selling feel natural. Because at that point, you're not pushing. You're simply creating safety for someone to make the best decision for their growth. That's the power of the trust triangle. Okay, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week.